Yo, what's good, people, man? It's your boy Persona, gaming with Persona, one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And welcome to episode 254? 255? I forget the number. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to make sure I got the numbering right, but we're gonna say 254-5-ish. 254, episode 254 of When Persona Speaks. An impromptu show. You understand? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a show we got today. It's going to be a lot that we have to talk about. And oh boy, is it crazy out here, right? But yo, listen, big shout out to everybody here, man. I appreciate everybody here, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. Make sure you share the stream out. Get all the people in here, man. And listen, if you're at work, hopefully I can get you through your work day. If you're on your way home from work or school, because school has started for a lot of us, especially in North America. Hopefully I can get you through your commute home. If you're at home, cooking dinner, doing homework with the kids, cleaning up, hopefully I can get you through your session. Listen, you might be taking a shower. I don't know. Cleanliness is closer to godliness. Listen, you might be having the maritals with a significant other. I don't know. I just appreciate you putting me on. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling great. Put a 2 in the chat if you're feeling okay. Put a 3 in the chat if you're not feeling that great at all. Gotta be honest. If you're at a 3, we want to get you to at least a 2. At least a 2 by the end of the show. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm at the first time in When Persona Speaks history, I'm at like a 2.5. I'm like a 2.5 right now, guys. So I'm gonna even have to get myself to a solid 2, maybe a 1.5. I'm at a 2.5, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in When Persona Speaks history. I am at a 2.5. Crazy. Man, oh man, what a day it has been, yo. This is crazy. What a yo. This gen is absolutely crazy. We're going to get into it. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. I'm seeing a lot of 2s, which I understand. I see a lot of 2s. Hopefully, the 2s, we could get you to a 1. For those that are at the 2s, I'm at a 2, 2.5 as well. So we're going to work to get ourselves to a 1, or at least a solid 2, or 1.5. I should say 1.5 by the end of the show. But listen, we have to do a moment of silence for Concord. We got to do a moment of silence, ladies and gentlemen, because Concord is going to be shut down effective September 6th, which is this Friday, which crazy enough is also the day that Astrobot releases, which is absolutely crazy. But yo, man, we gotta hit the moment of silence. We gotta play them off. Not a good look. It's pretty sad. Your boy is feeling some type of way. I personally wanted to see Concord succeed. It's crazy. F's in the chat. Put your hearts in the chat. This is crazy. Hearts in the chat. Press F's in the chat. Firewalk, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Concord devs, I know you guys are going through it right now. And I know you guys are, especially with the work that was put into the game. I really do feel for the devs, man. Moment of silence. crazy. What can you say? What can you say? You know, we gotta spin the block one more time. We gotta spin the block one more time on the song, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta spin the block. I'm hurt. Listen, I enjoy Concord. I think it's a fun game. I just put my review out Friday. Friday morning, I put my review out. I gave the game an 8 out of 10. Was Concord perfect? No. Did Concord have its flaws? Absolutely. 10 days? 2 weeks? It's got fun combat, fun heroes, interesting backstory, no lag, no hitches, very beautiful game. I'm hurt. You understand? I am hurt. This is gaming in 2024. And obviously you're gonna have the people that say, oh, I told you so. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yo, listen, shout out to shout out to everybody, man. You know, let me shout out everybody in the chat, man. I ain't even shout out everybody in the goddamn chat, man. I'm all over the place. Your boy, as you can tell, your boy is definitely feeling some type of way, man, about this. I really am. But yo, let me shout out everybody in the chat real quick. Yo, Prince Phillip, what's going on with you, man? Unknown was good. Toolman 55, TZ in the building. Damien, Concord Hater. Wow, what a name. Oh, the unknown. No, Concord Hater is his name. I called this 5 people before the state of play. Absolute ass of a game. Did you play it, Concord Hater? If you didn't play the game, listen, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, because listen, before I started the show, it was like 60 people in here waiting for the show to start. So I know some of you dudes is definitely trolls and the dudes to say I told you so and all that bullshit. Let me let you know right now. The mods ain't gonna go for that bullshit. You hear what I say? You can disagree. You can say, oh, you know, whatever. You can speak your opinion, but be respectful, because the mods ain't going for that bullshit. I'm just letting y'all know, man. I'm letting y'all know. 4 hours in the beta, Concord, sit your ass down. Anyway, Unknown was good. C Fresh was good. Team Man Bush was good. Immortal Black, what up, Persona? My gripe is with people celebrating this type of news, especially Broken Games HD. I didn't see Broken Games, like his video or anything like that, but I know BG has been very critical about Concord and a lot of PlayStation's live service, and obviously I think a lot of that stems from the fact that Factions 2 got canceled, which, you know, me being a big Last of Us fan, big Factions fan as well, I can understand the frustration. For those that follow me, follow my content, you guys know I was very, very angry, very frustrated with both PlayStation and Naughty Dog about canceling Factions, but Factions being canceled and Concord or any of the other live service games really have no correlation. So for me, I'm not looking at Concord and saying, well, Concord should fail because Factions got canceled, because those two things don't really equate as far as how I look at it, but everybody's entitled to feel how they feel. True Virgil, what's going on with you, man? Toolman, TZ, Damien, Killer Cam for show in the building. Otaku, what's going on with you? Joe Kane, what's up? Because I didn't have skills to play it. Skills to play it. Skills to play what? What are you talking about, Joe? Have you seen my live streams? Cut it out. I don't know if you're talking to me. You might be talking to somebody in the chat. I don't know. I'm assuming. Bender of Strings was good. The stop capping in this game was ass. Really? Did you play it? Yo, Jack Shabazz definitely rolling up with the Concord tonight. Appreciate you, Jack. Coming through. Who else? Rays was good. Appreciate you. That shit is loud as hell in my ear. Mr. Glass, what's going on with you? The Sly, what up? Appreciate you. Cold Blooded, what's going on with you? Appreciate you. High Key Zena in the building. Appreciate you. Das Mises, J Barbie in the building. Captain Ply, Wolf, Wild Wolf in the building. King of Royal Gaming, what's going on with you, King? Gamer Boy, what's going on with you, man? Nerdy Gaming, Chris Coleman, what's going on, man? Mr. Glass, shout out to everybody here, man. I think I said what's up to Damien. Big Hardcore Gamer, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. Stardust Zero, appreciate you. Metro Knight, what's going on with you? Robert Evans, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. That guy Schmitty in the building. Team Mang Fu, Andrew Wilkins in the building. Tri Celsius in the building, appreciate you. Kratos 99, Bree in the building, appreciate you. Amunra 3K in the building. Henry Heck in the building. A lot of folks here, man. Appreciate y'all. Diablo, Dark Matter in the building. Prince Philip, Johnny Gaiman, Blue Mustang 357. What's going on with you, Blue? Bird, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. True G BB. Gasuka in the building. When Persona speaks, I listen. What's up, Persona? ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? Muy bien. Me muy bien. Un poquito. I'm doing good though. Who else is here? Who else? Make sure I get everybody, man. Y'all know I try to shout y'all out, man. I always try. Yo, Kevin, what's up, man? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody. Kelvin Smith in the building. I appreciate you. Dave Rock, Verge, Ice Queen Gaming, Viper Reaps Corner in the building. Big shout out to everybody here, man. I really do appreciate everybody that came through. And shout out to the people that aren't subscribed. I think I have it set to subscriber only. That's because I knew the trolls was gonna be out for sure. And we don't want to give the trolls the satisfaction. You want to talk some shit? You gotta subscribe, my boy. But shout out to everybody here, man. I do appreciate everybody coming through. Like I said, rocking out with me and rocking out with it. So you guys see the title of the show, man. Concord shut down by PlayStation. What went wrong? We're gonna talk about it. But first, if you have been living under a rock, I gotta get you guys up to speed because this is definitely out of left field for me personally. Yo, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This past weekend, I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 super heavy, putting a lot of time into that. My thoughts on the beta will be released later this week. But my plan this week was to juggle Visions of Mana and Concord. I was like, all right, let me get back to Concord, start working on the rest of the characters so I could get to the platinum and stuff like that, work on the reputation to get a level 100 reputation, all that stuff, right? That was my goal. So this news is definitely straight out of left field for your boy. Yo, Lord Hog was good. King Kiso was good. Matt, the Stampede in the building. What's up? Stephen Urbane. Wups this weekend. Yes, Wups. Oh, side note, Wups or What's Up PlayStation Podcast, for those who don't know, What's Up PlayStation Podcast will be returning this weekend. So, definitely, look forward to that, guys. And obviously, me and Bari definitely gonna be talking about this and about some other news throughout the summer that we kind of, saw and kept up with or whatever. So Wups is returning this Saturday. So this Saturday, 11 a.m. official What's Up PlayStation Podcast YouTube channel. We will be returning. Me and Bari, very excited for that. We're off our sabbatical. We had a sabbatical over the summer, and now we're back to it. We're back to the content creation. So we're very excited. Hope you guys are excited as well, and hope to see a lot of you there too. Anyway, back to Concord. So Concord, let's talk about it, man. So PlayStation dropped the blog, and they essentially shout out to Ryan Ellis, who is the game director over at Firewalk Studios. So essentially, and we won't go through all of this, but I do want to go through some of the early stuff within this article. So they say Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PS5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with fans, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, which is this Friday, and explore and explore options. Yo, shout out to who's that? Kazar that just subscribed to the channel. Appreciate you. And explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchased other digital storefronts will also receive refunds. More information about that from Steam, Epic, and all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. So essentially, you know, they're pretty much are saying that the game is going to be shut down. And, you know, it's essentially they're going to, you know, go back to the drawing board and kind of, I guess, reevaluate, you know, how I lead. And, you know, I seen some people saying like this might, you know, they might re-release this at some point. I don't think so. I think whatever, when they say kind of go back to the drawing board or reevaluate and determine the best path forward, I think they may be, I personally interpret that as them determining the best path forward for the next game that they want to create. Right now, that could still be something within the Concord universe, because I do think that there has definitely, and you can tell this from the vignettes, the galactic, the galactic stuff that you see within the game, where like it kind of gives the backstory of the characters and all that, the vignettes, you know, the different personalities of the characters and things like that. You definitely can see that there was definitely a lot of effort put into building out these characters and kind of building out this world when it comes to the characters and whatnot, and their backstories, and again, the vignettes, right? So I guess how I interpret it, and again, I could be wrong, but how I'm interpreting that is, you know, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and they may release something that's within the Concord universe, may still have some of those characters, and it may be a single player, you know, experience or an RPG experience or something like that. Who knows, right? But I think in terms of Concord and what the game is today, I think that, and it being it, you know, the 5v5 hero based first person multiplayer shooter that it is, I think that aspect of it, I think that's what won't be coming back or will be done, and it's gone. Now, again, I could be wrong, but that's really how I interpret that. And a large portion of that has to do with the fact that what they put out with Concord, it didn't resonate with the PC fans. You know, we saw the Steam, you know, people, I know a lot of people were using the Steam numbers. I personally don't use that stuff, right? But obviously people use that as an indicator of the game's overall success across the board, despite it also releasing on PlayStation. So obviously the Steam numbers were extremely, extremely low. I think the peak was maybe 700 players, if that, right? We don't really know what the numbers look like for PlayStation when it comes to this game. So, but clearly from whatever Firewalk and obviously PlayStation as well, from what they've seen when it comes to the launch of the game, when it comes to the numbers and things like that, it is, and especially for the 2 weeks, you know, it's only really been out 10 days, 11 days, 2 weeks or whatnot, right? PlayStation is not happy and looking at that and just saying, you know, we're just going to cut this short. We're going to end it. We're going to end it before it gets too long in the tooth. You get what I'm saying? So no surprise by PlayStation with that, because PlayStation notoriously does do that stuff if something's not really as successful as we've seen within the last generation. That PlayStation shut down, you know, Japan's studio and closed down a couple other studios with like London studio and all these other different things. So we know that PlayStation isn't necessarily afraid to shut something down if they're not seeing any type of success or whatever measured or gauged success that they might be looking at when it comes to the, what they may deem as successful. So I'm not necessarily surprised in that regard. What really, you know, and listen, you know, I'm going to come at this from an objective and subjective standpoint, right? And you know, obviously the subjective portion of this will be a little bit more animated, right? Because y'all know how, y'all know how I am. Your bats was good. You know, let me put the chat over here, because like I'm on this screen, my camera's here, and I'm looking at the monitor and everything. So I want to make sure I got everything is symmetrical, as they would say. Is that what the young folks say? Symmetrical. So that's kind of, you know, so I'm going to come at it from two different perspectives, objectively and subjectively, right? So let's start with objective, right? Yo, Karen, what's good, man? Shout out to everybody here. Like I said, man, Montreal Gaming, what's good? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody coming through. Marwaz, campaign was longer than Concord. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, listen, people are gonna use this opportunity to, like, I told you so's and celebrate and things like that. And I stand by this. And this, even if this wasn't PlayStation, this is just whomever, right? Things shutting down and games closing or ending and stuff like that. I think that stuff sucks regardless who it is or where it is, right? If it's something that you're enjoying, something that you're putting time into, and it abruptly gets shut down, that's not fun for anybody, and it's definitely not good for the industry. And I mean that, and that's across the board. Like, I don't, regardless of where I prefer to play games, I do think that sentiment across the board is definitely something that it's just not fun. It's not good fun to experience, regardless if it's PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Nintendo, wherever. It's just not something fun to experience, especially if you put a lot of time into that, right? But to come at Concord from an objective point of view first, and then I'll talk about it subjectively. Objectively, I can understand where Concord and its rollout didn't resonate with a lot of players, especially when it comes to kind of this whole live service thing, right? Now, obviously, it's very easy for people to look at Concord, categorize it as a hero shooter, which it is. It is a hero-based shooter, which we do have a lot of those within the genre. So a lot of people looking at it from that perspective of just being this hero first-person online live service game, it's easy for a lot of people to kind of write the game off because of that, because of the genre that it falls in, when you see that genre is saturated with a lot of games, with a lot of those styles of games. So I can understand where some people may look at that hero aspect and immediately write it off without giving it a chance. I don't want to say understand. Let me reword that. Not necessarily understand, but I can see how some people may fall within that category because of the fact that it falls within that hero genre, right? A couple of the things that I think for Concord, and objectively speaking, that I do think would have resonated a lot more across the board, is if they included a campaign, right? This is something I said in my review, especially when you look at the characters in the world and things like that. I do think that stuff would have definitely been received a little bit more favorably among people who might not necessarily like hero shooters from a multiplayer perspective, but wouldn't mind playing a hero-based campaign, especially when you look at the characters and you look at the world building and kind of the dynamic and the interactions between all of them. I even said this when we first seen the game way back when, earlier this year, where I think that this would have been cool to have a campaign. Me and Barry both said it on WUPS when we were reacting to the State of Play, where he said this would have been cool to have as a campaign as well. Not saying it has to only be a campaign, but I definitely it would have been cool to have that campaign. And I think for a lot of people who might not necessarily resonate with multiplayer games, or might be on the fence about live service games, or might be on the fence about multiplayer games on PlayStation, or whatever that looks like, I do think a campaign in this game would have sold enough people to at least say, you know what, let me pick this up and try it, because the characters look interesting and the story looks like it could be interesting, and it has a single player component. So objectively speaking, I do think that Firewalk and Concord, they probably would have seen a little bit more success. Now it's hard to gauge how much more, right? But I do think that they probably would have seen a little bit more success and a little bit more of an attachment rate to this game between PS5 and PC if a campaign was attached to it, given the fact that it falls within a genre like a hero shooter genre, where that genre is definitely saturated with a lot of other games that also have that hero ability aspect to it when it comes to the gameplay, at least when it comes to what you're trying to put into it. And again, it could still be that live service and ever evolving and things of that nature, with which is and have the seasons and all that stuff that Firewalk said that they were going to do and kind of announced to us when it came to the roadmap, at least that single player aspect could have pulled a lot of that other crowd in when it comes to Concord and some type of success. So I can see how people can dismiss the game off of that hero aspect of it only being a hero. Oh, it's a hero game. I don't want to look at that, or I don't want to pay attention to that, despite not giving it a chance. And obviously everybody's not going to give something a chance, right? And we all understand that, but objectively speaking, I can see, the campaign not being there is definitely something that I believe that would have been more so in Concord's favor, especially with it being a new IP, right? Especially being from a brand new studio. And this studio is made up of great developers from, Bungie, from Call of Duty, from Halo, from I think Battlefield as well, so this studio, and again, PlayStation bought this studio. So PlayStation partnered with Firewalk when they were under probably Monsters Inc. back in 2021. And from 2021 to 2023, whatever PlayStation saw, they definitely loved, and it prompted them to want to buy the studio in 2023 and lock them down. And between 2023 and now 2024, to see the game release and it fail, I can also see from PlayStation's perspective, I don't want to necessarily say it's a I don't necessarily want to say like it's a bad investment, but I can see PlayStation looking at it and saying, okay, maybe we misread the room, right? Especially under Jim Ryan, when they were trying to push this live service a lot more heavier than what they were. Because remember, originally it was 12 live service games. Now we're down to like 6 or 5, right? I could see during the Jim Ryan era, Jim Ryan looking at this and saying, yeah, because kind of looking at the landscape of live service and gaming or whatever right now, I could see Jim Ryan and team kind of looking at it and saying, oh yeah, let's lock this down. This could be a hit. Let's invest into this and whatnot. And, lo and behold, you kind of missing the boat on that, right? And again, this is all just objective. Me kind of looking at it from that objective point of view of how some may look at it. So I do think that with Concord and kind of it shutting down 2 weeks. And listen, I get how PlayStation moves, right? But I just feel like 2 weeks, it's like, damn. And I get it, because the game definitely, like, when you look at it, to shut down in under 2 weeks lets you know that like the community on this game was definitely a lot smaller just across the board. It was definitely a very, very small amount of people playing the game, which again, that deemed PlayStation to kind of just straight up like, yeah, we're gonna can it or whatever. But I do feel like, for me at least, and this is kind of my subjective point of view, I do feel like, 2 weeks is hella quick, especially for a game that's been in development for however long it's been in development. But also when you look at what led up to this, with them partnering with them in 2021, them acquiring them in 2023, and then the game releasing in 2024, just for it to shut down in 2 weeks, crazy, right? That, and again, I think that's probably where PlayStation is kind of licking their chops licking their wounds, because this is definitely, no matter how you try to flip it, it's an L. It's a massive L for PlayStation. It's a bad look for PlayStation. As much as I don't want it to be, it kind of looks like a bad look for Firewalk as well. Although I don't think necessarily that it's from subjectively, from my point of view, I enjoy the game, and I'll get into all that in a moment. But I can see how this kind of public perception of Firewalk from gamers, especially with this being their first game from a brand new studio and it kind of failing like this, I can see how the faith from gamers in Firewalk can be shaky with whatever their next project could be. That sucks to say, but I do think objectively that's kind of, Firewalk as a team, they definitely have an uphill battle when it comes to garnering gamers' trust that whatever they put out next they should pay attention to. That gamers should pay attention to. That's definitely something that, you know, again, because when you look at the rollout, when you look at the secrecy with the game, and this goes back. Let me get subjective for a second with that. This goes back to stuff that I have been talking about on What's Up PlayStation podcast and on my personal channel for a long time, is PlayStation's marketing and rollout of certain games. I've talked about this a lot, and I'll explain what I mean. Obviously, I'm not a businessman. I don't run these companies. I'm not no trillionaire, billionaire, whatever. So obviously, I'm only coming from this from a place of as a gamer from the outside looking in, and kind of like, you know, just giving my thoughts and opinions on it. But I do think that with PlayStation, certain games under PlayStation's catalog, yo, E-Dog, Alvaro, Big Trish, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I don't want to lose my train of thought, so shout out to everybody. If I don't call your name out, still shout out to you, man. I appreciate everybody. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. So games like, so I'll give you an example. Games like God of War, games like Ghost of Tsushima, even though, well, they marketed that really well, actually, like, even though it was a brand new IP. But even like Ghost of Tsushima now, so Ghost of Tsushima 2, right? But Last of Us, Uncharted, I'm trying to think of, you know, Gran Turismo, you know, some of the other bigger PlayStation IPs, those games you don't need that long of a marketing cycle, even though you know, you can make your marketing cycles however long you want, or, you know, divulging on the information when it comes to the games. Those games, like a game like God of War, you know, you can start a marketing cycle 2 or 3 months before the game releases, and that game will sell gangbusters. That game will you know, it'll break records, as we saw. A game like Last of Us, right? Or Last of Us Part 2. You can market that game a month before the game comes out. I don't think you should do that, and I don't think PlayStation would necessarily do that either. But the point that I'm making is, there are certain games, or a game like GTA, right? A game like GTA, which is such a monumental franchise within gaming and within the industry, you know, you don't need that long of a marketing cycle to really get the word out there, to really garner the amount of mind share, sales, and things like that when it comes to those types of games. There are certain games where the rules do not apply. And when I say the rules, I mean the rules of marketing, the rules that gamers expect certain games to abide by, and kind of the expectation of what you would hope to see when it comes to the information for games, right? But I do think when it comes to brand new IPs, and, you know, I'm gonna stick to Concord. You know, objectively speaking, I do think that Concord should have had a longer marketing cycle to get the word out there, to kind of get people excited, to, you know, to really start garnering a community and things like that a little bit longer, to really build that up, to say, all right, now this is when we're going to release. Because when you look at the last year May, when we first saw the first trailer for Concord, it was a CG trailer. You know, we got a title screen, and that was it. And then we didn't hear nothing about the game until what was it, May? I'm gonna say between February and like May, I forget the time frame, right? That the game, that we really started getting information, started to see the gameplay, you know, and, you know, there was that dedicated state of play and things like that, right? I personally feel, objectively speaking, I do feel like the marketing cycle, or, you know, explaining the game and showing the game off and things like that, and really getting people into it, I do think that cycle should have been a little bit longer. Even the betas, right? I do think, you know, because there was a beta a month before the game dropped. There was 2 betas. There was the early access beta, and then it was an open beta the week after, you know, before the game dropped, a month before the game dropped back in July, where you could play the game. I do feel like that time frame should have been longer to allow for feedback, right? And have like those alphas or whatever case may be, to have those type of feedback, so that you can kind of tweak things, change things up, or whatever the case may be. I feel like the time from beta to release, from showing the game off to beta and all these other different things, I just feel like that stuff just was not long enough. And again, if you go back to last year, when me and Bari, you know, when we did our live reaction to the PlayStation showcase back in May, we both were very, especially me, I was visibly pissed off at the fact that we really didn't get much, right? And this is something that PlayStation has been doing quite a bit when it comes to their games, especially some of their newer games, where that marketing cycle, and granted, Helldivers 2 got lucky, right? Because Helldivers 2 was a phenomenon. It went viral. You had grandmamas out there trying to buy the game to play. Yes, baby, I'm gonna play. Helldivers 2 is definitely an outlier and an exception and not the rule, because Helldivers, you experienced the same thing with Helldivers, right? Helldivers didn't really show off too much. They had a dedicated state of play much later. There was no beta or anything like that. The game kind of just released, and it saw immense success. It sold about 15, 16 million copies, right, between PS5 and PC. It was also one of PlayStation's live service games. It saw immense success. That is the exception and not the rule, especially when it comes to live service in general. The things that I continuously say when it comes to live service: gameplay, roadmaps, things like that, content, replayability, the addiction to gameplay and things like that. Those things have to be there, and that's we'll talk about that more so in my my subjective point of view when it comes to Concord. I just want to stick to the objective stuff right now. So for that stuff, I do feel like though there were definitely some things against it. And then again, when the game got shown and it being a hero shooter, a lot of people wrote the game off of that. I don't agree with that, right? Even with it being a hero shooter, I do not agree with it being written off and kind of just being dismissed, right? If it's a game where you could look at the gameplay and you can see some fun out of that, I do think that people should give those types of games a chance. If it looks fun, I genuinely believe that, right? Regardless of where you play, I absolutely believe that. But when you saw a lot of the discourse surrounding Concord, a lot of it was more so about it being, people calling it woke trash and DEI and things that necessarily didn't have to do with the game itself. People, talking about the game being, there's no single player to the game and all this other stuff. Like, there was a lot of things that was going around with Concord that necessarily didn't have to do with the gameplay or the game itself, and more so around some of these other aspects of the game that really don't matter, when it comes to it, right? People, now, obviously, the hero aspect, that's something that I can understand that mattering to certain people. But some of the criticisms that I saw, dead game and all this other stuff, I'm just like, bro, like, play it. That's always been my response to it. Play it, try it, like, see if it's something that you would like, right? Obviously, people weren't doing that because people were married to the idea that, it's not single player. They don't want PlayStation doing live service, right? They don't want it to be just another hero shooter and all this other crazy shit, right? That's kind of like where that mindset is when it comes to a lot of people and when it comes to PlayStation doing multiplayer games, especially these live service games. Oh, that was a mouthful. Okay, let me get these super chats. Yo, try Celsius, man. I appreciate you for the super chat. He says, hey, what up, Persona? Someone wrote today, we have an unhealthy demand for a major hit only, and it has killed the room for devs to try their version of a genre. It's about staying in lane as a dev. Yo, man, listen, I gotta be honest. I agree with that, right? That, there is, and some of it is obviously from the gamer's perspective, but I also think some of these companies have also kind of set themselves up for that as well, right? Because you have these unrealistic expectations or these crazy expectations that everything needs to be this blockbuster hit or sell 10, 15, 20 million to sustain growth or continue to see growth. And if you don't see that, then it gets canned and you keep moving on. We're seeing that with a lot of games, especially live service. Live service, if you miss the boat or if you come out the gate and it's not out the gate and it's not a hit, 9 times out of 10, the game's going to be canceled. Some teams or some studios may try to keep it alive for a month, 2 months, or 6 months or whatever, but most companies will can the game rather quickly if they're not seeing that level of success out the gate, especially dealing with live service, because live service, a lot of money goes into it, especially if you're doing a free-to-play. A lot of money goes into it with the expectation that you're going to get an immense amount of money in return because of the free-to-play aspects or the microtransactions and things like that. And for something like Concord, which, going back to like the, objectively with it, there's a lot of people that were saying that Concord should be free to play, right? It should be free to play because, you know, all these other games are free to play, you know, right? And, you know, for me, I'm looking at that and I'm kind of just like, you know, should it? Right? Because, you know, I just seen the article the other day, last night actually, that, you know, X Defiant, that's a free to play shooter as well. That's on the verge of possibly being canceled. There's tons of examples of free to play games that are being canceled all the time. I don't think this game being free to play would have helped it that much, because again, I think people's idea of what they are expecting from PlayStation, and especially from a multiplayer perspective, is not this. And so because it's not what they have in their mind of what they expect from PlayStation from a multiplayer perspective, or whatever the case may be, it's automatically going to be written off as, or a lot of people are going to write it off and not necessarily give it a chance, regardless if it's free to play or if it's something that you have to pay for. Now, the $40 price tag, I can see that being something that turned a lot of people off as well, because of the idea that if it's a live service or something like that, it should be free to play. There was a lot of people, I seen quite a few people on Twitter that were pushing that narrative of it should be free to play. It should be free to play. And I'm like, if it's free to play, are you going to play it? A lot of these people still wouldn't play it. So it's like, you saying that really means nothing, because you wouldn't play the game. Right? But appreciate the super chat, Tri Celsius. Yo, and then shout out to Caleb Kaiser. Appreciate you for the super chat, bro. He says, what's good, Persona in chat? Hit the like button. Appreciate you, Caleb. Always, man, rocking out with your boy. Appreciate you rocking out with your boy. All right. Now, let me get into the subjective. Let me get into the subjective, man. let me get into the subjective, man. Let me get into the subjective. Listen, I think Concord is a fun game. Like, honestly, if you give the game a chance, and again, I think a lot of, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. If you play the game and it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. Like, I ain't really here to argue that or really talk about that. But me personally, I do think that Concord is a fun game. I enjoy my time with it. I got like maybe 40. I was just playing earlier with Bari. We was playing. Still finding matches, no problem. But I do think that Concord is a fun game and a fun experience that yo, and I mean this, man. Like, I really, really mean this. This is no cap. This is no bullshit. I feel like some people who might be writing it off, who might be into multiplayer games or multiplayer shooters, and are writing it off because of the hero element, will be pleasantly surprised with this, because there are a lot of comparisons to like Overwatch, right? And again, I said this in my review. The comparison to Overwatch, it starts and ends with it being a hero shooter, or the hero element, where like there's heroes that you could choose from to have specific abilities or have, you know, play a specific role or whatnot on the battlefield. But when it comes to the gunplay, the movement, the mechanics, the things that you actually are doing within the game, that is something vastly different than something like an Overwatch, where the comparisons don't necessarily equate, because they are two very different games, despite them both being hero-based shooters. And this is why I said in my review, despite Concord being a hero-based shooter, it still is a game that maintains its own identity and its own individuality when you peel back the layers and actually look at and analyze the actual gameplay of the game, and you experience that gameplay and gunplay and abilities and how you can kind of build your crew to get other heroes' abilities on your hero while you're playing, and just all those different aspects that you have with the game. It really, in my opinion, I feel like Concord carved out its own lane with being within the hero genre. But again, with the hero shooter genre being so saturated, A lot of people are looking at this game, seeing it's a hero shooter and just writing it off. But here's the other side of it too. I see a lot of people saying, we don't want Concord or these live service games. Give us Resistance, SOCOM, and all this other bullshit. You dudes wouldn't play that shit either. Y'all ain't gonna play that. Yo, it's funny, especially SOCOM. First of all, a lot of you, a lot of people in this community be capping so fucking hard, man. You ain't play no goddamn SOCOM back in the day. Cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit, man. Stop. You was not playing no SOCOM back in the day. You wasn't playing that confrontation. You wasn't playing that kill zone. You wasn't playing Resistance Online. Stop. That's some bandwagon shit to say. Stop it. And if they release that, should it be free to play or should it be $70? Do you see what I'm saying? Now, let's say, hypothetically, they release a new SOCOM, but it's online, it's multiplayer only, right? Kind of like what Concord is, right? There's no story or nothing like that, and they release that for $50. You gonna buy that? A lot of people in the community gonna have the same problem. I don't want to buy that. It should have a story. It should have this. It should be free to play. As much, and listen, a new Killzone, a new SOCOM, a new Resistance specifically. You feel me? I've been wanting a new Resistance for a long time. For a very long time. Yo, boy, I love Resistance. Especially Resistance Fall of Man. I played the hell out that game. Shout out to my boy Nathan Hill. I played that. I played the story and I played that multiplayer religiously. Heavy. I would love a brand new Resistance multiplayer. With multiplayer in it or whatever. You gonna buy it? Or should it be? Because if it releases as a live service, are you gonna buy it? People say they will. And this is the thing about social media. It's easy to say shit, but when it's time for actions, everybody, well, I mean, you know, my pocket's a little dry right now. You know, I got these kids to feed, man. You remember Total Recall? Remember Total Recall, where man's every time you see, I forgot the black dude name that used to drive the taxi. Hey man, I got 6 kids to feed, man. Come on, man. I got 12 kids to feed, man. Come on, man. I got 13 kids to feed, man. I got 13 mouths to feed, man. So when it's time to buy the games, when it's time to support the devs and do that shit, motherfuckers disappear. It's easy to say, I want a new Killzone. It's easy to say, I want a new SOCOM. It's easy to say, I want a new Resistance. But if those games get remade or a new game comes out and it's a live service, are we going to hear the same shit we hearing right now with Concord? Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, this is not what we want. We want this, 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 and this. Bring back factions. Which, listen, if they bring back factions, your boy ain't complaining. You understand? I definitely would love a factions too, especially with how that multiplayer and gunplay is. It's a crime that there isn't a factions too with Last of Us 2's mechanics and movement and abilities. It's a crime. But are you gonna buy it? And that is always my sentiment and always my approach to these things. If they release this, are you gonna buy it? Because again, it's easy to say this stuff. It's easy to say this stuff because it's not happening. So it's easy to get on Twitter, get online, get in a video, whatever. I want this, I want that. But then when it comes out and it's $70, $60, $50, if they do like an online only component and it's $60 or $50, are we going to hear the same thing that we hearing right now with Concord? It should be free to play. Now, if the gameplay looks good and all that stuff, yeah, some people gonna pick it up. A lot of people pick it up. I have no doubt about that. But real talk, I hear people saying this about SOCOM and Resistance and all this other stuff, and to some, I think that it's all talk, man. I don't think that as many people as people think would buy these games because they not. I digress. I digress. Let me look at these messages. Look, I'm definitely be successful done. So listen, I think any game could be successful done right. And again, I'm not saying that Concord did everything right, because I don't think they did do everything right. I do think that, like I said, I do think that a single player component should have definitely been in the game, right? Especially with it being a new IP, with you doing these vignettes and things like that, to have like to have this storytelling, it would have been received better if that storytelling was done through actual campaign storytelling and gameplay, right? I agree with that 100%. Like, you're not gonna get no arguments, no pushback from me when it comes to that. But I think when it comes to Concord as the game of what they were trying to deliver and the gameplay and that experience, I do think that that experience within itself was a fun, enjoyable experience. I had a lot of fun playing Concord, trying all the different heroes, you know, playing on the different maps, not having no type of lag issues or any type of matchmaking issues or any type of, you know, frame issues or nothing like that. Like this, like Concord is a really well polished game and experience. And it sucks that this game it failed, right? It sucked that this game failed. It sucks that, you know, everything is happening the way it's happening with Concord, with those teams, right? And honestly, my worry now, you know, I hate to say this, you know, knock on wood, I hate to say this, but I do feel like, you know, some heads are going to roll at Firewalk, man. I have that feeling that some heads are going to roll. I only hope that the studio does not get shut down, but also I hope that the studio isn't relegated to becoming a support studio for one of the larger engines within PlayStation's first party catalog. Honestly. But the silver lining with this, from my perspective, is for PlayStation, this can be a learning experience. And what I mean by a learning experience is how you market the games, how you roll these games out, you know, the information that you withhold or choose to withhold, or, you know, not really giving people enough time to soak in the game before you get it in their hands. This experience, this lesson would teach them moving forward. Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Cause listen, Marathon, what is it? Fair Games, Marathon, and isn't there one more live service game being made, I think, by Ben Studio or something like that? I could be wrong about that. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation is reevaluating all of their whatever live service games they got coming up, and we might hear about certain things getting canceled or getting reworked or redone or delayed or whatever the case may be, right? This happening to Concord, I could definitely see PlayStation looking at this and being worried about Fair Games and Marathon. And we already been hearing that Marathon is in pretty bad shape, you know, especially with everything happening at Bungie with their failures. And, you know, the game not really being received too well internally, right? We've been hearing a lot of that lately. So, you know, I can see Fair Games and Marathon. I can see PlayStation extremely worried about both of those games, man. Especially, again, Fair Games, that's another brand new studio from Haven. This is their first project. We still don't know a lot about the game per se. We know that it's a heist type of game or something like that. Or extraction, excuse me, not heist. I think extraction. Is it heist or extraction? I could be wrong. I think it's heist. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I believe it's a heist multiplayer game or something like that, right? But again, this is a brand new studio, Jade Raymond Studio with Haven Studio. Is that next? Is that going to fail now too? Because it's not what people want. It's not, you know, especially if the gameplay looks fun. We haven't really seen what the game play is, right? We've seen like CGI, but we haven't really seen gameplay, right? We don't know when this game is coming out. You know, that might be something that I'm pretty sure PlayStation, Herman Hulst is probably looking at that, really reevaluating that and determining if this is something that needs a couple more years, if this needs to be canceled, then move on to something single player. Who knows, right? But I can see PlayStation looking at the failure of Concord, and this is a colossal failure for PlayStation, one of their biggest failures to date. And I can see them like looking at this whole live service landscape and saying, hey, yo, fuck out of here with that bullshit. We need to get off this boat immediately. We need to get off this boat immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at it from that perspective. We need to get off this boat. I would not be surprised if Herman hosts, Hiroki Totoki, I forgot the dude's name with the hardware. But really Herman hosts and Hiroki Totoki, because Herman hosts really is the game studio side of things. He answers to Hiroki. He reports up to Hiroki Totoki. So really it's them two. I can see him and Hiroki sitting down in the office, like, look, bruh, what we doing here, bruh? What we doing here? And Herman host saying, hey, bruh, I'm about to pull up. You know, I can see them seriously reevaluating that catalog. And really, this might be a small part in why we're not seeing a lot from PlayStation when it comes to their studios. Because look at the landscape of everything. And listen, live service, here's the thing. Live service is a tough thing in general. Like, it's a tough thing to break into. I've been talking about this for years when it comes to live service game. When PlayStation started talking this live service shit, I said, when it comes to live service, you can't just, and I'm not saying this is Concord per se, I'm only speaking in general when I say this. You can't just put something out there and it be bare bones and not really have a good, the gunplay has to be right, or the replayability has to be there. There has to be a roadmap. There has to be, there has to be support. Like, it has to be interesting. The gameplay has to be, all those different things, right? I've been talking about that for years. And funny enough, Concord has a lot of that, but Concord also doesn't have the microtransactions. It doesn't have the battle pass and all these different things that people tend to talk about and say that they hate or dislike, right? None of that stuff is here in Concord, which you would think would be received a little bit more favorably because they're not doing any of that, right? Asking for the upfront cost of $40, $30 or $40, and you get a multiplayer experience, a complete multiplayer experience with a nice amount of maps, a great number of heroes that all play very differently, and a very well polished game. That's really what you get for the $40 price tag of Concord, and that's real talk. And listen, I've put 40 hours into this game. I streamed the hell out this game, both during the beta and during the full release of the game. It's a very well polished, fun experience, right? You would think that would also win gamers over, but again, that hero aspect and all that other stuff, a lot of people can't see past that. And I do agree that it is a saturated market, but I mean this, man. Like, I really do mean this. Concord really is a fun game. It really is a fun game and a fun experience. And I hate that it crashed and burned and failed like this. And again, I really do feel for the developers, because this sucks. Working on this game for so long, and for it to kind of just fail like this, and kind of seeing all the hate around it, and people kind of rooting it on to fail and things like that. I think that stuff sucks, man. And this goes for any devs that's kind of rooting for things, where they experience this stuff. But obviously, we're talking about Concord. So, for me, I think this sucks. I think it sucks. I was going to try to get the platinum. I was working on the platinum, guys. I was working on the platinum. I was trying to get the platinum. I'm not going to be able to get the platinum by Friday. Like, that's done. So I'm going to try to get as many characters as I can, with the 50. I only have like 7 characters left. So try to get some more all the eliminations, and get the characters to 10. I don't even think I'm be able to get through all of that by Friday, right? So it's kind of, it is what it is, man. It's an L for PlayStation. Unfortunately, it's an L for Firewalk. Their first L, right, with this brand new studio. Not a good look, obviously. I do think some heads will roll. I hate to say that, and I hope I'm wrong, but I do think some heads will roll. I just hope that this studio doesn't shut down and they're able to get another crack at creating something. Learn from this mistake, learn from this failure, and move forward and move accordingly. The industry is a very volatile place, man. It sucks. You know, you can't, and here's the thing, you can't really defend any of it, right? Like it happened, right? But again, I think for PlayStation, I gotta be honest, for PlayStation specifically, I definitely do think they need to take a step back and evaluate whatever live service games they have left that are coming from their studios, which I think they're doing anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if we get news of other games being internally canceled because of Concord. And when I say games, I mean the live service games. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. Or excuse me, we hear that or hear rumors of that or murmurings of that in the coming weeks or months or going into 2025. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't, because it's hard to gauge that live service market. That live service market is absolutely brutal. It's a brutal market. And I said this with PlayStation. And listen, you know, because some people, okay, here's the other thing. PlayStation has always done multiplayer games, right? This is not necessarily something new for them, right? PlayStation has been doing multiplayer games, again, with Killzone, Resistance, Uncharted, Last of Us, Starhawk, Warhawk, DC Universe Online, what's that other game? GT, Gran Turismo, you know, and all these. PlayStation has been doing multiplayer games and multiplayer experiences for years, right? This isn't necessarily a new concept for them or some of their more veteran and some of their more older studios, right? But I do think when you're getting into the live service market and this new games as a service, live service stuff, it's a whole different beast, because gamers are very fickle, right? Live service in itself is a very hit or miss thing, where, you know, everybody's trying to be like, or trying to chase, you know, the purple dragon and trying to see the immense success, kind of like what you see with Fortnite and you know, Minecraft and all those other things, or whatever, Call of Duty or whatever would have you. But live service in itself, you have to keep people coming back, have to keep it fresh, have to keep it engage that community and things like that. That's a tough market to kind of penetrate and see immense success with it. Again, Helldivers 2 is the exception, it's the outlier, but it's not the rule. It's not expected for all live service to really succeed like that, and we're seeing that with Concord. We might see that, I hope not, with Fair Games. We might see that with Marathon. We've seen that with X Defiant. We're seeing that with a lot of other games where it can't stand the test of time within the market to really see any type of success, because you have to catch your lightning in a bottle out the gate. And if you don't, and it's very difficult to do that with such a volatile and fickle market and with gamers being so volatile and fickle. You've got people telling you PlayStation needs to do more multiplayer, but then when they do more multiplayer, they say, like Concord, they'll say, oh no, not that, no, I want Last of Us, I want Killzone, I want Resist, I want stuff like that. So it's like, but you just said you want more multiplayer experiences. Or you'll hear some gamers say PlayStation needs to do, you know, I'm tired of playing the same old, I want new experiences. Concord is a brand new IP, a brand new experience in the hero genre, a brand new experience that plays vastly differently from most other hero shooters. Oh no, not that. How do you maneuver within a market like that? How do you maneuver around gamers like that? That's for the developers and PlayStation and other people who want to attempt live service to figure out. That's obviously not for us to figure out, but to penetrate that market and to see some type of success, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So, you know, that's just what it is. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Gamers are fickle, hypocritical, and also liars. Yo, Henry, talk about it. Yo, Chuck, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Demolish. Demolished guy, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody here, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure you guys hit the like button. But yeah, Concord. It's a L for Concord, man. Concord washed up. You know, Friday is the last day, and that's it. It's done. So they're moving on. Sad to see. Very, very sad to see. But like I said, I do appreciate the devs. I appreciate the Concord. I enjoy Concord very much. You know, I'm not just somebody that's just talking that. Like I said, I've been playing the hell out this game. Like, you know, I've been playing and streaming this game a lot, you know. So like how I personally feel is genuinely my thoughts and how I legit feel, and not necessarily something that is just it's not something that's just like, oh yeah, you just virtual signaling, or you know, you don't really feel like that, Persona. You capping. You just saying that because it's a PlayStation exclusive. You didn't really put time into the game. I'm not one of those YouTubers or one of those people online that you know is just gonna talk you up some bullshit to look good. You know, I'm actually out here playing the game. You know, your boy, you know, early access beta over a month ago. Your boy was there playing the game. You know?
I would rather traipse across this crazy galaxy with you. You are the finest starship in the skies. Now, we should probably accept that offer before they realize we're a bunch of crazy misfits. They changed their minds.
This is the captain of
Oh wow,
the North Star,
I'm blocking my
broadcasting
Persona.
for the first time
Arcade, what up?
on the Free
Object to be, what up?
414. Today, we join your ranks. One more ship blasting through the star.
Damn, Persona, my
fields,
fault. I
faster
didn't mean
than
to, you know.
light. One more voice defying the guild, telling them they don't.
Yeah, they go to Persona right there.
One more crew.
It's 2 Personas
stripping
now.
out of living,
Oh, that's 4. 2.
doing whatever it takes to.
It look
be
cool, man.
free.
Listen, the
With
game.
an honor-bound Colossian warrior.
And see, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? So the vignette, right? This is a cool little, you know, setting the game up and, you know, giving you some backstory with the characters and stuff like that. This would have been cool stuff to kind of play through as well. Like, that's what I'm saying, like a campaign. I really feel like a campaign in Concord, because the characters, I personally feel like they nailed a lot of these characters and their personalities and, you know, kind of like who they are and whatnot. Like the characters are very unique.
Very tidy ship.
It'd have been
Never
cool to
seen
play a
tidier.
campaign with
So
this
get
with
ready.
this crew.
Because from
You
here
feel
on
me?
out,
Like
the
that
Free
is stuff
Gunner
like
crew
that
of the
where I
North
just
Star
feel like,
is on the job.
you know, that's stuff that was definitely missing,
Wanted to say,
personally speaking. You know, but your boy is playing the game. Playing the game, playing through it, experiencing it. You like, your boy was out here playing through it, man. Like it you know, this ain't no cap. You feel me? Like your boy ain't capping, man. Like I enjoyed Concord. I liked Concord for what it was. And I hate the fact that it failed. And I do hate the fact that, you know, that the game is shutting down. Like I really do. You know, 'cause I wanted to see what the seasons was gonna be like, what the new maps, what the new character, you know, new hero they would have added. You know, I wanted to see all that, and probably even see it morph into like a single player experience at some point down the road, maybe if it's seen some type of success. But out the gate, the numbers on Steam weren't good from what I was seeing, and clearly from what PlayStation was seeing from a PlayStation 5 perspective, the numbers clearly were most likely not good there either. So it is what it is. It's crazy. All of a sudden, multiplayer games need campaigns, but before everyone was like, "Fuck campaigns." Ayo, listen, ayo, sick. I agree with you, but I think for a game like Concord and the storytelling that they have here, I think a campaign necessarily with Concord would have fit. I don't think every multiplayer needs a campaign. No. But when you see all the vignettes and the effort that's going into the storytelling here with these characters and with this crew and all these heroes, I can see how a campaign would fit. I think a lot of people could. So I don't think, at least from my perspective, I don't see that as too much of a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't really see that as too much of a reach to ask for a campaign. Concord should have def had a campaign. Yo, Randy A, what's good, man? I'm level 46 right now. Not happening unless they up the XP. Yeah, they need to do like quadruple XP or something like that to like let people get the platinum. I really want to get this. I really want to. I'm not even kidding, guys. My plan this week was going to play Visions of Mana and Concord and work towards the Concord platinum and try to get the platinum before the end of the month for Concord. That was my plan, straight up. And then Friday I'd have been playing Astrobot. It's gonna be a Visions of Mana and Wukong week, it look like. You feel me? Until Astrobot on Friday. It is what it is. I'll still play Concord though too, because I'm like I said, I'm gonna try to get some of the other characters to level 10, get those 50 eliminations for some of the other characters before the game shuts down. But yo, the last thing I'm gonna say about this too, man, and again, I said this at the beginning of the show. You know, regardless of who this is happening to, it's not good. Right, like this isn't like a victory, right? Games shutting down, you know, games getting canned and stuff like that. It's not a victory, you know. Like I don't view that as a victory in any capacity, regardless if it's PlayStation or Xbox, Nintendo, whoever. It's not a victory, right? I think this sucks, and I think people, because it's funny because I see some people saying, and shout out to Bari. Me and Bari was talking about this earlier. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, this is great. Concord shutting down is a good thing because now we could get games. PlayStation knows that we want games like Killzone, Resistance, and all." And I'm like, if these live service games are failing and PlayStation's putting all this money into these games and these shits are failing, what the fuck makes you think that they gonna just dump more money into something that like that, even if it's a IP like SOCOM or Resistance or whatever? What makes you think they would dump money into that, seeing all these other live service games fail? If anything, you're going to get less of these shits. You feel me? They're not going to put more money into investing into something that keeps failing or is losing them a lot of money. That shit is dumb. And it's funny to see people saying that shit. Like, yeah, you know, guys, you know, now we might get Killzone. Now we might get a brand new Resistance. Get that Resistance multiplayer. Now we can get that SOCOM. These are the multiplayers we want, PlayStation. We want SOCOM. We want Resistance. What makes you think they're going to listen to that? What makes you think they're going to invest in that? Not saying it can't happen. I hope that would happen, sure. What makes you think they're going to do that? Seeing this fail means, oh yeah, they're going to dump more money to put... Stop it. Stop it. Yo, cut. You look foolish. Cut it out. Stop it. No. You might get a single player, not no multiplayer. You might get a Resistance single player game, or they might do a Resistance remaster or remake and not have the multiplayer. Just like they did with Uncharted. Remember? You know what's funny? Remember Uncharted? Remember? Not even Uncharted. What was it? Last of Us. Last of Us Part 1. Remake. Remember how mad people were that the game was single player only and didn't have the multiplayer? And that the game shouldn't be set. Hey, yo, listen, bro. Hey, yo, listen, man. Hey, yo, look, man. Hey, yo, look. It's all talk, man. It's all talk. Listen, man. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. It is what it is. It happened. It failed. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Yo, Chips and Sticks, what's good? LBJ, what's good? Michael Moridian. PlayStation needs to make a banana game. That'll fix everything. That's funny. Bats, what's good? Ambush that Wukong is dope. I'm almost done with New Game Plus. That's what, yeah, yo, listen. I've been neglecting Wukong crazy. And it's not because Wukong is a bad game, because Wukong is not a bad game. It's just, you know, other games kind of pull me away. Plus the COD beta was this weekend, so I kind of dumped a lot of time into that. But when it comes to, you know, kind of the games that I'm juggling, I ain't gonna lie, Visions of Mana has its hooks in me right now. Visions of Mana is real. Yo, and it's crazy because Visions of Mana Studio, Oka Studio, I saw an article. I don't know if this is confirmed or not. Like, if like it might still be speculation, but if this is happening, this is also messed up. That Oka Studio, which is the studio that's under NetEase that developed Visions of Mana for Square Enix, they might get shut down. That's a single player game that's releasing everywhere. This market is crazy right now, bruh. And Visions of Mana is a very fun game. I got like 6-7 hours in the game. It's a very fun game. Beautiful as hell. This game is absolutely gorgeous. And the combat is fun. The story is pretty interesting so far. Like, yo, it's crazy, bro. Like, when you look at gaming now, what to say? Yo, Episona, I was trying to tell these weirdos the same thing. The message these stupid people thought they were sending is not the message Sony heard. Sony heard y'all want free to play. Listen, free to play. Yo, let me explain to y'all something about this free to play shit that people are pushing. That's all. Respectfully, that free to play talk that you keep seeing up and down timelines on Twitter, that's all bullshit too. Listen, man, free to play does not mean success. Look at X Defiant. That game is on the brink of being shut down, allegedly. There's tons of free to play games that have been shut down. What was that dodgeball game? Dodgeball City or whatever it's called? Free to play, shit shut down. Free to play don't equal success either. People keep pushing that narrative. It should have been free to play. Does the gameplay okay? If Concord was free to play, hypothetically speaking, for the people who dislike the game, would you have played? That's my question to those people. The people that dislike the game and don't want to play it. If it was free to play, would you play it? If the answer is still no, then it being free to play don't mean shit, because it still would have failed. Like, people say that free to play bullshit all the time. Yeah, you know, I think Concord should have been free to play. It should have been free to play. Would you have played it? No. But, you know, it would have had a bigger audience because it was free. But if you're not playing it, what makes you think that audience that you think might play it would play it? A lower barrier to entry does not always mean success. And we're seeing that. I hate to bring this up, but let's do it. It's when Persona speaks. It ain't whoops. Game Pass. A lower barrier to entry does not always mean success. Oops. But what do I know? I'm just a small YouTuber with a very small YouTube channel, ranting at a camera, talking to 200 people. Yo, 200 people is a lot of people. Yo, shout out to the 200 of y'all watching right now. 200 people is a lot of people. Like, you ever talked in front of 200 people before? Like, physically. Have you ever talked in front of 200 people before? That's a lot of motherfuckers staring at you. Like, there's 200 people. Well, technically, you know, because everybody got two. Well, let me not assume everybody got two eyeballs, but let's assume everybody got two eyeballs. That's 400 eyeballs staring at you. Right? Yes. 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 Yeah. I had to think. 400. Yeah. Right. I don't think it closes down in 2 weeks if it were free to play, though. I think so. Because the player base ain't there. A lower barrier. Listen, Jack. A lower barrier to entry does not always mean success. We've seen games. Okay, so maybe not 2 weeks. Maybe a month. I'll give you that, Jack. Maybe a month and a half, it shut down. The fact is that not enough people are playing the game to justify keeping the servers active, to justify continuing to put the manpower into keeping the game up. That's the point. And a lower barrier to entry, you may extend the life a month, 2 months, maybe 3. The fact of the matter is, it's still a downward slope when it comes to it's still a downward slope that you're headed down, because not enough people are playing the game. Persona. Well, now you can check out Space Marines. I don't know about that, man. I might get that on PC. I mean, I might get Space Marines too. Maybe. Do y'all want to see me stream? You know what? I'll ask the chat. Y'all want to see me stream Space Marines too? I might stream it on PC though. I don't know if I want to get the console version. Or I might get the console version. Who knows? Either way, y'all want to see me? Do y'all want to see me stream Space Marines too? Let me know in the chat. If y'all say yes, I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up. But enough of y'all gotta say yes. Let me put a poll. Let me put a poll in the chat. Do y'all wanna see Space Marines 2 stream? Yes or no? Start a poll. Let me start a poll. Let me know. I might pick it up. But yo, you know what? Redfall. I already streamed Redfall, Damien. You ain't see my Redfall stream? Oh, let's go back to Redfall. Hold on. Redfall gaming with Persona. This is a year ago too. This is like a year and a half ago. I did do a Redfall stream. Yo, listen, I'm a man that practices what he preaches. You hear what I say? I'm not one of these dudes that just on Twitter talking. If I'm interested in the game, I'm gonna try it out for myself and come to my own conclusion or my own opinion.
Mr. Philip K. Yo, shout out, man. Shout out to everybody here.
Yo,
Jason,
when I watch like old streams,
in the
yo,
building.
your boy I was a big boy.
Ice Queen.
Oh my God.
Who else is here, man?
Oh my God,
Who
Persona.
else? Andrew Wilkins.
Big boy.
Jay Ga-
Still cute though. Still cute though, big boy. A cute little big boy. Oh, now I'm blocking him now on this side. My fault, Persona. I didn't mean to block you. Yeah, I got on a sweater. Oh no, that's a Whoops. That's a Whoops sweater. That's my Whoops hoodie. Yo, real talk. This hoodie is like mad big on me too, bro. Yo, listen, my hoodies are coming in soon, man.
Yo, why that water look
My
like
design, my graphic hoodies is coming in soon. They coming in soon. I'm you know, they getting made. I got my graphic hoodies coming. Shout out to Jenna Hayes, that was super chat too, by the way. Man, I was playing. Your boy was playing.
Yo, Kieran, what's good?
Your boy was playing. What you call it?
Oh, so they can fly. Okay.
It does not look better than Halo Infinite.
Nah, this definitely don't look better than Halo Infinite.
Hell no, it definitely didn't look better than Halo Infinite, man. And I played through Halo Infinite as well. I played that and streamed that whole story.
Man, I wish y'all would come in here. I wish y'all would come in here and have a real conversation with us. Not no fanboy discussion. I need to
Not no
understand
fanboy
the
shit.
mind.
Not no fanboy shit. Come through. Let's talk about it. Real talk.
Bro, I need to have.
Hey yo, sick buddy, yo. Shout out to my boy Sick, boy. Hey yo, shout out to my boy Sick.
I can't even have a real conversation.
Nah, but like I said, I streamed Redfall.
You know why that logic is so crazy?
I streamed Redfall.
You promised that a stream. I am so broken. How the fuck did people
Yo, shout out to Omar. I ain't talked to
five?
Omar in a minute either.
What even? This is a 2.
Oh my God, yo. When I look at like old, this is like a year and a half. This is like more than like a year. This is like a year and a half, almost 2 years old. This stream, or more like a year and a half. But yo, man, your boy, big boy, man. That's big boy Persona, man.
As they should.
Shout out to my boy Persona. But yeah, I did stream what you call it? I did stream Redfall. You remember the Starfield stream? Oh yeah, the Starfield stream was crazy. But yeah, you know, so I'm gonna open up the chat real quick. Not too long, but I do want to open up the chat. Oh yeah, yo, listen, man, your boy, man. Yo, like I said, you know, I mean this when I say this, man. Like health is wealth, man. Like guys, I mean that shit, man. Like, you know, the pandemic pounds caught up to your boy. You feel me? And we had to make a change, man. I was like, no, man. We gotta get back to the grind. So, yo, health is wealth, guys. Listen, you can be a gamer, you can game and do all that, man. But please take care of your health, man. I am an example that you know, healthy, consistency, eating clean, you know, having your cheat days every now and then, but eating clean, being consistent. I mean, just look at that persona and look at this persona, right? Two very different personas. You hear what I'm saying, guys? Health is wealth, guys. Yo, them COVID pounds, man, them COVID pounds caught up to your boy here, man. That was me. That was the COVID weight that caught up crazy. I'll never be here again, man. Ever. Health is wealth, guys. I mean that. Health is wealth. Please take your health very, very seriously. Please. If there's nothing else you do, take your health very seriously. Go to the gym, drink water, eat fruit, eat vegetables, eat protein, lift weights. You know, you gotta lift the weights now. Listen, you understand? You gotta lift the weights, man. Like, you know, the weights, you know, working on the chest. You know, weight training is on point, man. I'm very happy. You know, plus, you know, the little gym hotties, you know, I step through the door, they, you know, gym hottie, you know, and the gym hotties, they look, I'll be seeing them. Is that Persona? Damn, he look fine. You know, the gym hotties be looking, I be seeing them. I be eyeing them too, man. They cute. But yo, I'm gonna open up the chat real quick. You know, if anybody want to come through, you are free to come through. Give your thoughts. Give your thoughts on this situation. Oh, let me turn this up. Anybody want to pull up? You can pull up. We could talk about it. Talk about it. Oh, somebody came through. Who that? Baticus. Baticus Prime, aka Darth Vader. What's going on, my friend? What up?
Good.
What's good?
Going.
Hey, man. Hey, Bats. Don't be coming in here on that nighttime Jonesing ass voice. What's good? How's everything doing? How's everybody feeling? Is everybody all right? Coming in here, that Barry White ass voice. You better put up that voice an octave or two. You ain't jonesing on the phone at midnight with your shorty. You're talking to Persona. You're talking to me. Up that voice an octave or two. When you come in, what's good? How's everybody doing? You doing all right? I'm feeling right too. I'm feeling good. The nerve of you. The nerve of you. No, go ahead.
Yo, my coworker was like, "Are you okay?" I'm over here dying. Hey, yo, what's good, Chad?
What's good though? What up?
Nah, chilling. Just real quick, man. Just shout out to you and your progress, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. Looking different.
Oh yeah.
Man. I just noticed that you look real different from before to now. That's pretty. How do you feel?
I feel great, man. Like, it's a great feeling. Like, you know, it like I said, like when it comes to like the, you know, back then, like a year, 2 years ago, you know, COVID, you know, like a lot of it was like just COVID and like, you know, just being in the house and, you know, just being lazy and stuff like that. And, you know, kind of becoming that even more of a homebody and stuff like that. And like the weight just caught up to me crazy. But last year,
nowhere to go. Actually,
yeah, the weight caught up to me crazy. So, one day I was just like, yo, man, I gotta pull myself out of that. And that's what I did, man. It just, you know, been eating clean, going to the gym, being consistent.
Hell yeah.
And now, you know, I'm at a good weight. You know, I'm very close to my goal weight, which I'm like by like the end of this year, by spring, I should be at like, I'll be at my goal weight before the end of this year, but like toned up and whatnot should probably be like spring, like where I want to like be 100%. So yeah, man.
Are you thinking about taking up a martial art?
I used to box or take boxing classes a long time ago. You know, my uncle used to run a boxing gym. Well, it was a gym, but like it had a boxing section in it. He used to run, and he taught me how to box when I was a kid.
You gonna get back into it?
Yeah. Boxing is definitely
Nice.
something I want to get back into at some point as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because what is it? Combat sports always help out with the conditioning and maintaining the weight. You know what I mean? Like cutting the fat and maintaining it. Combat training always helps out a lot. That's all I would recommend, is that you might want to think about looking into like a MMA or like some type of like boxing or something like that. You want to like maintain it. 'Cause, man, I understand.
Yeah. Yo, listen.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle, man. But boxing, and honestly, probably like I don't know necessarily MMA, but probably like I don't want to say karate, but probably like probably karate.
Ain't nothing wrong with Shoutouts, bro.
Yeah, Shoutouts, some shit like that. But yeah, it's definitely some hand-to-hand combat sport. I definitely want to master and as well. So that's phase 2. That's phase 2 for sure. Trust.
And on topic though, I'm a little disappointed about Concord. I'm not, you know me. I wasn't really like, I wasn't really like trying to like cop it day one. I was just one of those like, I'll cop it with the homies and shit and play it. But it does suck that game is going down. The path is going down. Hopefully it turns around or something comes up. But yeah, that does kind of suck a little bit.
Did you pick the? Correct. Did you pick up Concord, right? Or did you not?
Yeah, I played with you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yo, how did I forget? Yeah, you're right. Let me ask you, from your perspective, because I remember you did buy the game. We played a lot as well, actually. In your honest opinion, do you think that this game should have been free to play, or especially with what you've experienced with everything, do you feel the game should have been free to play, or were you happy at the time with your $40 purchase?
Honest with you, it was only $40, so I wasn't really tripping. But I believe it would have probably capitalized more if they did a free-to-play option with the microtransactions, with the seasonals, or with the skins and shit. Because it's like the whole mixed bag of people like on the fence about it. I think that kind of would have eliminated that little line that was drawn between people either wanting it or not wanting to play it, or was trying to like, figure it out if they actually wanted to play it. I think if it was free to play, it would have made it a lot easier decision for a lot of people, and they probably would have had a lot more people playing it per se. But yeah, like, I don't know. It feels like that. What happened? It's the negative though. The negative tones that was going on before the game actually come out. Like you spoke upon it, like the woke movement shit, or the woke shit that people were trying to throw out there and shit like that. It's like racism and shit kind of stops progress, man. Racism and ignorance stops progress, and I believe that like some of that negative shit kind of like affected it maybe, but I feel like if they did go like a free to play market, they probably would have did a lot better. We might be having a different conversation.
I feel like I personally think we would have been having the same conversation just in October.
Like, do a shutdown.
Yeah, I because there was so much before the game even released. There was people downing the game because it was a hero shooter. They were downing the game because it had pronouns. They were downing the game because it had there were no white people, or they were downing it because it was live service. They were downing it because like there was a lot of things with this game that people were downing it before it even released, where I feel like I don't think it stood a chance, man. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't think this game stood a chance in the market at all. Regardless if it was free to play or the $40 price tag, I just don't feel like it stood a chance, because the comparisons to Overwatch were so outrageous, especially after playing it. You know, it's different when you're looking at something and somebody's saying, comparing it to Overwatch. You can't necessarily speak against it because you don't have that actual experience with the game to really speak out against it. But when you actually sit down and play the game, it's like, bro, this shit ain't no Overwatch. This ain't no Overwatch at all.
Definitely, what's that other one? Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's a hero shooter.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not that.
Yeah, and so it's like, and a lot of people were comparing it to that and dismissing it off of that. You had a lot of people that were shitting on the game or downing the game without having not even the open beta, not even playing the game.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It stood no chance. It stood no chance, man.
Yeah, it's kind of the Acolyte profile now. You remember what happened to Star Wars Acolyte?
Oh yeah, they canceled that. Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
they went, man. Yo, Sick.
Same thing happened though.
Yo, Sick, what up?
Yo.
Sick. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro. I hope you good. I hope the family good, bro. I've been peeping the streams, but I ain't really we haven't been in a setting like this in a minute, man. So I hope you good, bro.
Nah, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Hey, man. All I want to say is, y'all PlayStation gamers are fucking nuts. Y'all are nuts, bro. It's. I already feel a type of way because they don't seem to give a fuck about anything unless other gamers care about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems as if this falls into the same category. You know, I actually had a conversation via chat with Corey, and I was telling him how this game wasn't gonna do great. And you know what Corey told me? Corey told me, he said, "Hey, Sick." I'm just saying it how I think he said it. "Hey, Sick. The gamers on the internet ain't the world, bro. That ain't the world, bro. You gonna see when this come out, it's gonna be successful." No. This game was doomed before it ever came out, bro.
Yeah.
The rhetoric had started before it ever came out. They're now moving on to Marathon. This game, we don't even know what the hell it is, and they already on it.
Oh yeah,
and then the same people talking about, we need a showcase. For what?
You ain't buying shit.
For what?
Yeah,
What do you need a showcase for? What do you need a PS5 Pro for, bruh?
Didn't the stats come out that majority of players are playing older games anyway?
Yeah, especially live service. Like most people are playing the Fortnites, the NBAs, the Maddens, the FIFAs, the Call of Duties, and all that stuff. That's like, you know, it's the same like 6 or 7 games that's in the top selling games every year.
Right.
Crazy.
Nah, Corey, we ain't gonna play that game. Oh, my bad. Damn. We ain't gonna play that game, Corey. You ain't gonna sit up here and say, that's the problem with the game community. Y'all made a decision about the game from the announcement, and this is the result. Nah, bro, you was wrong. Just say you was wrong, nigga. That's the easiest way to do this. You were wrong, bro.
I'm here to say I was wrong. I'm here to say I was wrong.
Yo, Hayabusa, appreciate you subbing to the channel.
Yo, I'm gonna jump out and let you guys continue on.
All right, Batch, I appreciate you pulling up, bro.
For sure.
I'm here to.
Yo, wait, Corey, are you saying you are actually admitting that you were wrong about something?
Oh yeah, I was definitely wrong. I was definitely wrong. I put my faith in the PlayStation community, and these niggas let me down. I really thought all of this stuff. I was still wrong. I'm gonna say
that's where you went wrong.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
In this community.
I thought that there were enough actual gamers, people who play video games, that people would not be really into this whole internet thing, that it wasn't really this serious in real life. But no, it really is this serious for people in real life. And now I am reevaluating what it means to be a PlayStation gamer, because this community, bro, like the fact that dudes literally just was like, okay, PC dudes don't like this game, so I don't like this game.
Let me get. You thought I was just talking when I said that?
No, I don't think.
When I said Steam got to give them the approval to buy a game, bro.
No, hold on.
You are correct. I came on the panel to let you know. You are correct, sir. I was wrong.
That was something that was always happening before then, right? Like this whole PlayStation putting games on PC and stuff like that. Obviously, they're going to use the Steam numbers for a lot of things because you can actually get the tangible numbers from that, unlike what you can do with PlayStation. With PlayStation, you have to wait for NPD or for PlayStation to report the numbers out or whatever the case may be. It's not something, there isn't like a person counter like in Steam, right? I do agree that like PlayStation gamers using Steam, like if you're somebody that primarily plays on PlayStation, but you're looking to Steam for success of a game, for the success of a game, I don't necessarily agree with that either. Like I feel like if you primarily play on PlayStation, you should kind of focus on PlayStation as where you hope the game is also being bought and played, because if more people are buying these games on other platforms, that incentivizes that console maker or whomever to just put more and more games on that platform either sooner and shorten the time span, which then speeds up the demise or killing off the individuality that your console has, or you know, and all those other stuff that kind of comes with that. So I agree, like the whole Steam thing, I don't really agree with that from a PlayStation perspective. Now if PC people are doing it, or these companies, whoever is doing that, that's them. But PlayStation gamers doing that shit, I don't know. I don't agree with that 100%.
Let me ask you a question, Persona.
What's up?
When you heard about Helldivers 2, right?
Yep.
When did you start to see PlayStation gamers say, "Oh man, I need to go pick up Helldivers 2"?
When it started succeeding.
Because it wasn't day one.
No, I mean, this typically happens once games go viral, because Helldivers 2 started going viral. You know, it started getting a lot of, you know, the TikToks and the YouTube shorts and videos and all that other stuff. It started going viral, so you started seeing more people wanting to pick it up because of all the funny videos and all this other stuff that was happening.
No, I'm gonna save you. It wasn't even that. As soon as they published them numbers, them concurrent numbers on Steam, all of a sudden, PlayStation dudes, they realized there's a game that they could play.
You're not wrong.
Yo, shout out to Barry for the super chat. He says, "Welcome to the PlayStation Nation, Corey, where they say what they want, they get it, then don't support it. These motherfuckers are fickle as hell."
Let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna have this conversation real quick because I know you're not here for a long time. But let me ask you this question. I want to have this conversation with you. What is up with niggas talking about, I don't want live service, I want a traditional multiplayer?
So I feel like the traditional multiplayer is kind of like what we used to see back in the day. And I'll go back to the PlayStation 3 generation where you had something like Uncharted, right? So when Uncharted 2 released, you had the campaign, and then at the end of the campaign, you had a multiplayer that you could play. And it had, you know, some modes, it had some characters, you know, different skins and things like that that you can get, and that was it. Like you had map packs that would come out periodically, and that was really it. Now, as opposed to now with what multiplayer gaming is now, multiplayer gaming and live service or games as a service, I think are all synonymous at this point, because all of it now has microtransactions, some type of battle pass or something like that, things to get you not only playing the game, but to spend money.
What's the difference between a live service and a multiplayer?
The predatory practices behind them. A live service game or a games as a service game is built around keeping you there and keeping you spending money. A multiplayer game is just something that, at least how I look at it, and again, going back to something like Uncharted 2, it's a multiplayer, it's a multiplayer experience that is in addition to whatever the holistic experience is of the game, but it's not necessarily built in it's not necessarily being built with the mindset of trying to nickel and dime you. They'll put things out there, they'll support stuff.
Are you saying that live service is game as a service?
Yes, they're both the same thing. It's interchangeable. It just depends what words you use.
Where do we differentiate with the multiplayer then? Because it all seems synonymous all together. It's just one. They are one's ever evolving, and the other is just standard, and hopefully you might get an update.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The practices behind it, the what some people may
perceive as...
Yeah,
but a live service isn't generally trying to nickel and dime you.
Yeah, they are.
Helldivers 2 is a live service game.
True. That is true.
They don't nickel and dime you either, though.
But again, Helldivers is also, I would say, an outlier in the traditional sense of what you would expect from games as a service or live service games, because regardless if it's free to play,
Helldivers is exactly what they offer with Concord, bro.
I agree with you.
Literally.
But what I'm saying is, although not Helldivers, well, yeah, we are talking, although Helldivers and even Concord for that matter, even though those games fall within the live service genre, and they are kind of built and being geared towards ever evolving, keeping you engaged and things like that, I think the route that PlayStation has took when it comes to live service with some of their games like Helldivers, even though there are microtransactions there and there's things you can aspire to, it doesn't come off as predatory as something like I'm trying to think of something. Well, I don't want to say predatory, but it isn't as
I was
much.
going to say, because I can tell you predatory multiplayer games.
Yeah, I was going to say predatory
that aren't considered live service.
Yeah, predatory is probably not the word I want to use, but it doesn't come off as in your face, like something like, well, so let's use Fortnite, right? Fortnite is a free-to-play game, but there's battle passes and different character skins and things like that you can buy, right? And you're kind of incentivized because they build up, they have all this hype stuff around it, it's commercials, all this stuff, and they try to get the whales and other people to buy into it and get these. That's why they have all these popular characters. So like what's the show? Deadpool Wolverine. There's a reason why the Deadpool Wolverine skins were coming out for Fortnite around the same time as the movie. As popular as that is, Fortnite attaches itself to the popular thing in the moment to get people to spend money. That's their practice and that's their business model to keep themselves relevant, but also to keep money coming in from the aspect of the microtransactions and things like that within their free-to-play or games as a service, live service model, as opposed to PlayStation, to where something like a Helldivers, which became a phenomenon overnight, right? It went viral. It became super popular. They made a lot of money off of it. I don't think even PlayStation or even Arrowhead, for that matter, was expecting for it to kind of reach that level of success of what it got, especially when you look at the first game. But when you look at the practices behind what they were doing, it was kind of, you don't need this, but it's there if you want it, as opposed to the gameplay being built around, you should buy, you can work towards it to get this, or you can buy it. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that?
It makes sense, but the problem is that it for me, I guess with people, it becomes a games as a service or a live service, as you guys say, when they try to monetize said game.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm understanding and taking from what you're saying, because again, I don't think that there's a difference between any of this shit. I think we've just made it up in our minds when we hear these words, games as a service, live service, then people just go over the deep end.
Well, that's
because there's a lot of people who say, I wanted to see this fail because it was a game as a service, because it was a live service.
But that's because of the negative what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, my brain is like fried. I had a long day at work. It's kind of like it's because of the negatives that surround that live service or games as a service word, right? Because typically those words, or when people hear that stuff, they automatically associate it to something predatory, even if the game isn't necessarily doing that. So you'll have people that will write off a game off the strength of it being falling within the genre of a live service. Or again, let's use Concord as the example, right? Concord, a lot of people writ off Concord off the fact that it falls within the hero shooter genre, because that genre is so oversaturated with other games, either those that have failed or a game that has succeeded. It's Concord was moving into a saturated market, so a lot of people wrote that game off without necessarily understanding or knowing what the game is.
Do you believe that though?
To a degree, yes, I do. To a degree. I'm not saying it's everyone, but I do think that
this new Valve game comes out. I'm hearing that it's a hero
Deadlock.
shooter.
You talking about Deadlock?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And see, but
we still tired of it, or all of a sudden we no longer fatigued.
No. I agree with you. I agree with that. But here's the thing.
That's why I said
no. Here's the thing. No, but that's why I say to a degree. But there's another side of it too, and it's like I said earlier in the show. There are certain games or certain companies where the rules don't always apply. And unfortunately, Valve is one of those people where The rules that some may put on one studio or one game, they won't associate that with another. And obviously, for most of us, we would call that hypocritical. But that is something that happens. It's the same thing with GTA 6. GTA 6, if they have this live service aspect to it, which we know they will, because they're going to be bringing over GTA Online and keeping that going and all this other stuff. As much as people say that they want single player games or love single player experiences, GTA told you that they canned their story DLCs for GTA 5, and no one really batted an eye. They're just like, oh, it's fine. But the rules don't always apply to everyone like across the board, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Yeah, of course.
Can I tell you what I truly, truly believe?
Of course.
I believe people just don't want to see Sony successful in the multiplayer arena. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what they do, because they believe if Sony is consistent and successful in the multiplayer arena, then of course Sony's going to pull back and they're going to reach out for more exclusive games.
Sick, I'll do you one better. I think that the only reason that Helldivers was ever successful is because there was no hype around it. It's because it kind of snuck up on people and people didn't know to be excited about it.
Yo, a lot of people were shitting on Helldivers too. A lot of people were shitting on Helldivers too. But again, it became such a phenomenon overnight because of the numbers kept going up and like the fun or whatever.
PlayStation gamers that was shitting on Helldivers.
Yeah, you're right. People were going to skip the game.
Pay attention, bro. I sit in the back now and I don't say nothing. I don't even try to be a part of the conversation no more. I just look. The same people who I saw shitting on Concord is the same people who are like, I just don't know what's going on. What happened? And I not even sarcastically. That fake empathy they like to put out there, bro. This game, I don't know what the fuck timeline I woke up in, bro. But I'm ready to get the fuck off this timeline, bro. This timeline is weird, bro. Like I don't even know what to tell you, bro. Like this is the stupidest timeline I could have ever woke up in. I'm telling you, bro, I need that machine that they had in Wolverine and fucking Deadpool, bro. I need to go to a different fucking universe, bro, because this shit is cooked. It's cooked and it ain't getting no better. It's only gonna get worse. You got people who are talking about political agendas and then talking about they don't want agendas in games, but they bring all of their outside political agendas into the gaming space.
Yep.
This is horrible now.
Speak on it.
Bro, I don't care about, dog, I be trying to tell people, bro, like I don't give a damn about how you feel about a LGBT character or whatever the hell this is, bro. Like they act like gay people don't exist. That's why I don't understand this, bro. And I'm like, dog, have y'all even just given the game a chance? Have you tried the game? Oh man, just put the game in PlayStation Plus or just put the game in a service. Like,
what? That's what
they gave you a game for $40, feature rich, complete, 12 maps, 12 characters?
No, 16 characters and 12 maps.
16 characters and 12 maps, bro. It's so bad. I started playing Wukong, bro. I even had time to boot up fucking Concord, bro. And it was dead before I could ever fucking download it.
Crazy. 2 weeks.
That's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Not even 2 weeks, 10 days.
That's crazy.
Persona, I said this earlier in a chat to you. I don't think that the message that the PlayStation community think that they were sending to Sony is the message that Sony got. I think now I am on the lookout for anything that's about to be multiplayer from Sony. They could bring back Killzone, Resistance, Killzone, SOCOM, whatever game that they want to right now. I'm telling you right now, they are not bringing any game back unless it's going to be riddled with microtransactions. They tried to give y'all that old school multiplayer, pay one time, get the whole game, and not have to worry about getting nickeled and dimed. And y'all told them y'all don't like this because it's woke. Now they about to start digging in y'all pockets. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about, man, Sony came out of nowhere with these microtransactions. This is what y'all told them y'all want. Y'all told them.
Be the next argument point. That's gonna be the next argument point. Now it's going from them being actually pro-consumer to, oh no, they're anti-consumer. Look at all of these microtransactions. Oh, it takes $1,000 just to. Well, that's what you said you wanted. That's what you said you wanted. You wanted free to play. Well, here you go. You wanted a fucking cell phone game on your console. Here you go.
I don't know. I don't see PlayStation necessarily.
Oh,
Bro,
no.
I don't see them jumping out the window like that crazy. Not saying that they wouldn't put like some type of because I mean Helldivers has it, you know, where you can buy the microtransactions to buy some of the skins and stuff like that and whatnot in the game in Helldivers too. So there are, you know, PlayStation's already doing that. But from what you're saying, Corey, I don't necessarily see PlayStation jumping out the window that crazy to where it's on the level of like a First Descendant or something like that, where you got $100 skins or whatnot. I don't see them doing that.
Persona. These people were begging for this game to be free to play when this game don't have no store, my guy. They're telling these people, yo, give us your game for free, and you don't have no way to get microtransactions. You don't have no way to get extra. So just give us your game for free. How are these people gonna get paid? We were just gonna get the game for free in PlayStation Plus, and because we paid for Plus, that was gonna be enough for the developer to eat off of and make a whole new game, to make that single player game that we wanted them to make in the first place. The message that I believe that we sent to Sony with this whole the game needs to be free to play, it needs to be in PlayStation Plus, is not the message that you people were intending. I know what y'all were thinking. Y'all were going off of, oh, Overwatch is free. Oh, Valorant is free. Marvel Rivals is going to be free. Those games, Sony don't got to make no money off of those games. So Sony don't put no money toward those games. Sony just make money off of the fact that you buy their microtransactions. But you're not going to buy Concord microtransactions. Y'all not going to buy Sony microtransactions. Y'all gonna complain about them, or y'all gonna let them tell you that the microtransactions shouldn't even be in the game. We already saw this with Gran Turismo 7. These people were ready to riot over microtransactions in the game. You didn't even need the microtransactions, and they were ready to riot. I'm telling you, we about to get hit over the head with multiplayer after multiplayer of just free-to-play cell phone garbage. That's what these people asked for. That's what the demand was.
But it's even worse.
Let me get the super chat real quick. Yo, Magnum Game, appreciate you for the super chat, bro. He says Concord is one game out of the planned 10 or 12, so I'm sure Sony is prepared to have Concord flop as well as 6, 7, or 8 more live service flops. Sony is on schedule according to plan. No. Can't they?
That's wrong.
So.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I already know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
No company is going into any type of game development expecting shit to fail like that. I don't know where that thinking comes from. I've heard that before.
Oh, that's not even the biggest thing.
Where people expect like, oh yeah, Sony is expecting some of these to hell no. But
I was wrong. We on two different wavelengths.
Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say?
Sony isn't. Remember, Sony scaled back.
Oh no, yeah, that was the other part.
12 live service.
Yeah, it's only 6. and really, it's not even like right
it
now.
Ain't even fixed no more.
I was gonna say right now we're probably at like 4, right? Because Helldivers came out, GT came out, and now Concord. So now it's 3 more.
I don't think GT count towards what they were doing. I think it's Concord, Helldivers, that Fair Games, which I'm definitely looking forward to that. So don't y'all niggas fucking cheap out on that. I'm gonna go and rob some people. But that would, Fair Games, I think, would be the 3rd game in the list of the live service. I'm telling you, I don't think GT is considered because that was before they even came up with this strategy.
Honestly, I can see them because we really only know about Fair Games and Marathon. So I personally could see PlayStation probably fulfilling those last 2 live service games and then pulling out, like just like straight up, like, all right, we're going back to like what we do or something like that.
Even if they did that, Persona, that does not end well for us.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the whole point in making these live service games was to subsidize these bigger games that everybody believed that we're gonna get from PlayStation. That shit ain't happening. It ain't happening. They were looking for other ways to fund these games. And y'all kept saying, well, not I'm just saying generically. Y'all kept saying we need more multiplayer games. Why am I paying for a PlayStation Plus subscription and there's no multiplayer, no first party multiplayer games from Sony? I heard people say shit that was so ridiculous that Bleeding Edge was better than Concord. What?
I see that. Funny.
What? Say what? All right. I was just like, bro, this community is funny, bro.
Oh,
this shit is funny, bro.
And now you can't even defend that point. You can't even defend that point that Bleeding Edge wasn't worse than
it lasted longer.
At least Bleeding Edge didn't get canceled or didn't get shut down 10 days into service.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think
talk,
Concord is going for good though. So
I don't think it's going for good either. But I definitely don't think it's coming back in the way that that it originally left. Like it will not be back in this format.
It'll probably be a single player experience. Oh, also the Horizon multiplayer. Yeah. So those are the three. So it's Fair Games, Marathon, and the Horizon multiplayer. I
forgot about Marathon.
I didn't
even call that.
I can see PlayStation fulfilling those and then probably honestly scaling. Listen. That's the topic for another day, but like scaling back just in general, because clearly the live service thing, especially with what they invested into Bungie, we're already seeing that that's not turning out how they thought it would either, right? They scaled back significantly from 12 live service games to 6. Some of these live service games are failing, and then the ones that are still slated to come out, those might fail as well, right? PlayStation is in a really weird position right now because they are going to have to figure out a way to either strike lightning again, which is an even bigger risk, or scale back their game development as a whole when it comes to the big AAA budget games like the $300 million Spider-Mans or whatever.
I hope they do that too.
Something is gonna happen. Yeah, like something is gonna get scaled back.
They're turning
to compensate
PlayStation into Xbox.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's what I wouldn't go that far. That's exactly what the hell they doing. And they doing it for a fucking stupid reason.
Explain how it's turning into. I don't agree with that. I need you to explain that to me, Sick.
Bro, without being able to fund these big ass games, bro, they are going to resort to making smaller fucking games, titles that fit inside services, since nobody wants to fucking buy games, right? And that's just what the fuck they gonna do, bro. Like that's where everybody is leading them, dog.
See, but I feel I don't. The PlayStation has been, especially Hiroki Totoki, they have been very adamant about the sustainability, the live service. I mean, not live service, but games going into a subscription service not being sustainable, especially for their model. If they wanted to continue to make AAA games, even if they do scale back even a little bit, I still don't see them putting whatever that scale back process looks like when it comes to their AAA development. I don't see them putting that into a service day and date. What I would see them doing is, instead of them putting it into a service day and date, they would just do day and date PC release with PlayStation simultaneously to maximize both platforms and get as much money as they possibly can out the gate up front, instead of staggering out the release. I see them doing that more so than putting games into their AAA releases into a service day and date.
Let me ask you this question.
What's up?
Around 2018, 2019, why did Microsoft start making a whole bunch of smaller games?
I forgot. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Because nobody was fucking buying the game.
Yeah, but yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Crazy fucking risk, spend crazy amounts of money, and you're not getting back what you put in return.
But that's why
I'm going to scale back.
But
you're going to scale back. All of those games that we were getting that were super fucking polished, that ran freaking amazing.
Start giving you.
Yeah, but the thing, no.
Y'all, you don't want to see it happen.
No. I hear what you're saying.
We'll give it about a year.
No,
let's give it about a year or two.
No, what I'm saying is the situation with Microsoft and Xbox are vastly different when it comes to people not buying games. People on Microsoft's side, people were not buying games on a significantly larger scale than what you're seeing from PlayStation. From PlayStation, you're seeing their big blockbuster titles like the God of War, the Horizons, and the Spider-Mans reach that critical success.
You saw the God of War do that.
No, you also saw Spider-Man, and you also saw
the first Spider-Man do
second
that.
Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man is at like 40-something million copies sold right now, and it's still charting on MPD every month. That game is selling.
Second Spider-Man. I would have to get the numbers on that.
I guarantee that second Spider-Man is at 10 million plus right now. I guarantee it.
Well, they already said it was at 11 million. And that was back in like April, so it's definitely over.
So it's a success. And Horizon,
So-
Horizon 2, Horizon Forbidden West and Forbidden West 2 both sold
Forbidden West was like 9 million.
Not Forbidden West.
Last time.
Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but it still sold.
I mean,
though.
not Forbidden West. Wait, am I talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about Forbidden West. That's the second
Forbidden
game.
West. Yeah. It was like 9 million.
That's what I'm saying.
They
They're
popped
big
it in fucking
blockbuster.
PlayStation Plus for some, I don't know, for some weird reason.
The point is their big blockbuster titles are still selling on PlayStation platforms. What PlayStation is doing though is they're trying to expand their reach when it comes to those titles by putting them on other platforms to get even more money because they see that
working out.
And this is stuff.
Out?
But this is stuff that Sean Layden has said when it comes to the budgets, right? Sean Layden has been saying this for years when it comes to the budgets of games where AAA development has ballooned into what it is. But that's why I'm saying PlayStation would scale back on the budget before they would do what you're saying to make it sustainable and keep it going.
Scaling back on the budget is what's gonna get you there.
That is exactly how you get there. Either that or you cut down on the development.
I know you're trying to look on the bright side, so I'm gonna let you, keep hope alive, bro. But with the way things is going, bro, these PlayStation gamers, I'm only blaming PlayStation gamers. Fuck all the other ones. Steam, Xbox gamers, not even talking about them. This is PlayStation gamers doing, bro. This is their doing. Every move that PlayStation make is literally because of what they're doing, or better yet, what they're not doing.
So the only thing I want to say is that the only way
we're gonna have to wait and see because if games like Astrobot sees critical success, then is it really a failure? Because I can guarantee. No,
you're not falling for that one.
No. Hold on. Let me line it up. Let me line it up, sick. Let me line it up. Do we think that? No. Okay. So let me ask you this question: do you think Astrobot cost the same amount as it did to make Spider-Man 2? Okay.
No, absolutely not.
So if Astrobot does not cost the same as what Spider-Man 2 does, but they see I'm not saying if, because we don't know. But if it sees that same level of success where it sells 6, 7, 8,
not
9
gonna happen.
Million, I mean, we don't know, right? It could.
Not gonna. No. We know. Not gonna happen.
Astrobot looks like a great game.
We've seen it plenty of times before in the past, bro. There's been plenty of smaller titles.
You're right.
That came out. They were great games, and they did not support them. Listen. You got to understand and realize the timeline of how everything happens, bro. When Astrobot got this crazy boost and just weird overhype?
Playroom.
When Concord, no. When Concord started getting bashed on, that's what the fuck these motherfuckers latched on to.
Really?
The same,
I wasn't paying attention. Yes. I wasn't paying attention. So you,
yes.
All right, go ahead.
Bro, it's the same thing with Last of Us 2. Remember when Last of Us 2 was coming out and all the hate just started building up around it? What did they latch on to? Ghost of Tsushima. Bro, y'all not paying attention, dog.
I do remember that.
Y'all
Listen,
all I'm
saying,
go look at Playroom. Go look at the completion rate. I've seen it. Playroom, the shit that
I've seen it. I'm seeing it
with the console.
I'm seeing it. I know exactly where you're going, and again, I've noticed that as well. But what I'm saying with Astrobot, this new game that's coming out Friday, what I'm saying is, and this is just hypothetics. If Astrobot costs, let's say, 90 million to make, but then it makes 350, that's a title that's high quality, a smaller budget, but they're seeing immense profits from. Now, I'm not saying it will sell 10 million like Spider-Man 2, no, but if it can sell 3, maybe 4 or 5 million, hypothetically, I'm just saying hypothetically, you're seeing a game that is seeing critical success on a much smaller budget on a larger scale.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I want AAA to go away or anything like that. But what I'm saying is,
say to you,
okay,
that I completely 1000% understand exactly where you are.
Okay.
And what your train of thought is, what your reasoning is, what the thinking is, and I do believe that Astrobot should see maximum success. I just don't believe the people, bro.
No, I know that part of it.
This imaginary hype, bro.
That part of it, bro. No, that part of it, I agree with you 100%. But sick. That's stuff we've been talking about for years when it comes to the artificial.
No, Persona, you're done for the day. You're done for the day, bro. You're done for the day. I was trying to chill, play some Wukong, but hearing what you're saying, bro. You're wanting to feel good and basing shit in reality. Look at all the small games. Look at all the smaller AA, smaller budgeted games that came out for PlayStation. Why didn't they stop doing it in a long time?
Because people weren't buying them.
Exactly. Astrobot, where's Astrobot in the pre-orders right now?
You know what? That's a good question. Let me check.
The game comes out Friday. We gotta stop doing hypotheticals, man. You gotta live in reality, bro. Because when you start doing, when you start doing hypotheticals, that's just you wanting to feel good about what's happening in the news.
Astrobot is number 9 on the best-selling pre-orders list.
Number 9. What's above it?
All right, so what's above it? Surprise, surprise.
All the sports games.
FIFA, Space Marines 2, NBA, and Call of Duty.
Okay, so all of the huge third-party games are there, right?
Yeah.
And you know that all of those games are not going to sell like crazy good. So where does that leave poor little Astrobot at 9 on the pre-orders?
I mean, I'm looking at it from the fact that the gameplay, from what I played it at Evo. It, like, I mean this when I say this, bro, and Barry can vouch. I get it. But what I'm saying,
that we hit though.
Listen, I'm not trying.
You
Listen,
think quality equals sales?
No. It has to, bro. To some degree. What I'm saying, listen. All I'm saying is, when it comes to Astrobot, this looks like it's a great game. It looks like it might score well, right? For the people that follow that shit. It looks like something that really is a fun experience.
You know what else?
I would hope. You're right. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna hold the L. Because you're right. Because Concord look fun too. You're right. I'm gonna hold the L, bro. I'm gonna hold the L. You got it. All I'm saying is, if this is the case, then what's the alternative? Okay, so you know what? you and Barry are right. My question to you both is,
gaming.
What is the alternative,
bro?
But that's my thing. If the alternative is that gaming dies, might as well pack it up.
No.
Might as well pack
gaming
it up.
won't die. No. We will just get more of the same, bro. We'll get more.
I don't want that either, though. I don't want that either.
We'll get more of the generic multiplayers. That's what people want.
That's what makes the money.
That's what people want.
Right? And if but that's the thing though. When that's done right, it's fine. But the thing is, I also want those new experiences. Like, I'm somebody that wants those new experiences as well.
Let me say this before I get up out of here, man. Because I'm just to say my little soliloquy and get up out of here. Right? We are now in the gaming era where somebody could boastfully admit that they don't care for live service games, don't play multiplayer games, don't want PlayStation doing no multiplayer. They hate multiplayer games, but you will validate that person's opinion after claiming that they don't like this stuff about how a multiplayer gamer is good or bad. This is where we're at in gaming, bro. It's wild to me that, you know what I mean, people are so fickle in this gaming community. You know what I mean? That's why I did a super chat where all the time. Oh, PlayStation needs to do their own multiplayer games. Okay, they did it. Oh, they're not gonna buy it because whatever reason. Oh, hero shooter, but guess what they playing? They playing Apex Legends. They playing Overwatch. They dying to get into the beta for Marvel Rivals. Well, all of a sudden, hero shooter is saturated. Stop saying that bullshit too, man. Stop saying that bullshit. Because I'm pretty sure you can't even list 5 hero shooters that is successful right now.
I can't.
It is not no saturated market. Stop it. You got like 3-4 shooters that's hero shooters right now that's quote unquote doing good.
That's on my mind.
That's oversaturation? No, it's not. Stop it, man.
I agree.
We're just parroting what dumb motherfuckers that don't play these games are saying, bruh. It is not oversaturation. These motherfuckers claim that they want stuff. When they get it, they don't get it. They don't buy it. Then they go back in history. Oh man, PlayStation need to do Killzone. They need to do SOCOM. Meanwhile, they will buy the last ones. They need to do free to play. What free to play game are you playing currently? None. I don't know what the hell is going on out here, bro. I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone when it comes to gaming. But the people that's playing the game, giving their opinions, we're fraudulent. We're fanboy because we're enjoying the game. It's just weird. It's weird to me, man. It's weird to me. Everybody that claims that they hate grifting, they hate the media because they review games without completing it, they doing the same shit. You are the game's media. You are the grifter. You're not sincere. Motherfuckers do podcasting and videos. They don't even care about the shit that they talking about. Why they do it? Oh, it's just for a check. You get your little $200, $300 check at the middle or the end of the month from YouTube. This is what we're into in gaming now. So when I hear these opinions, when I see these shits about people talking about oversaturation, hero shooter this, but dying to get a code to Marvel Rivals, you don't think I see them tweets? Huh? Then go and play Call of Duty, which is like a semi-hero shooter. Oh, it used to be a hero shooter where different specialists had different abilities. Knock it off, man. These people sound dumb, you look dumb. At the end of the day, yo, Concord was a very fun game. If you don't like hero shooters, cool, that's on you. But I don't understand where we're getting into this gaming community where people that have no experience is outweighing the people that do have the experience. The people that have the charismatic opinion is outweighing any type of experience. It's weird. All in the name for, let me get a quick buck from Twitter or let me get a quick buck from YouTube. That's all it is. None of these people got real, sincere, genuine thoughts. It's not. That's why when you watch some of these podcasts, when you see this just is boring as hell because they're not excited. They don't care about what they're talking about. It's all just to gather you dumbass motherfuckers in the chats to have them screen record. Hey, look what this guy said. Oh my God, he talked about, oh, Xbox is alive. Oh my God. You're doing exactly what they want. But they get to dictate to you what games you should buy and what you should play. Meanwhile, they're not even touching the motherfucker. Crazy. That's it, man. I'm done.
I agree with that 100%. Everything that's
right.
why, but that's why I said what I said earlier when I said a lot of people that's trying to compare Concord to a hero shooter and they often are using Overwatch as the example. It may fall within that genre of a hero shooter, but it doesn't play anything like other hero shooters. And that's why I keep saying like the experience is what's important. But if I say that I'm a fanboy and it's because I prefer PlayStation, when I'm telling you from experience, somebody who doesn't talking to somebody who doesn't have experience, tell me that I'm wrong. And that's been happening a lot. I've been seeing these dumbasses in my tweets, dumbasses in my Concord review and all this other stuff. So I agree with that 100%. But I think when it comes to what you and Sick are saying when it comes to like this community and you know, people being fickle and you know, all this other bullshit, that's the reason why I'm not really talking on that is because we've been talking about that for years. We know that. We know that's what it is when it comes to a lot of this stuff.
you know why it's hit the fan, though?
And that's
because
why
now it's starting to affect us.
You're right.
Before it wasn't.
But that's why I'm saying, yo, the reset got to happen. The more popular gaming becomes, the more this shit's gonna happen. The more not popular, let me rephrase, mainstream popular, whatever word you want to use. The more mainstream gaming becomes, the more this shit's gonna happen. So one of two things has to happen: a reset or conform.
All right, Persona. I'm a be out,
all right,
but I do want to say this. I do want to say this. I'm normally a part of the PlayStation Defense Force. Today you took that role. Don't let these dudes.
I ain't defending shit. Yo, hold up. Your boy ain't defending shit. Hell no, I ain't defending shit. Hell no.
I'm normally a part of the PlayStation Defense Force. That Sony's gonna come back from this. This community showed me something with this whole Concord thing that, yeah, there's something going on here, and what's going on is starting to affect my PlayStation mandate, which is that they continue to make and partner with good games. Today, a good game is getting shut down, and it's getting shut down for not a good game. It's getting shut down because people didn't want to play it, and because people didn't want to play it, we're going to start seeing free-to-play nonsense. We're going to see Sony trying to do a lot of different things to make up for this. This was a loss. Sony is losing money on this. Like, this is not a good thing that happened here today. And I see people on, who claim to be PlayStation guys talking about they're glad that this game is getting canceled or now it could come back as free-to-play. Bruh, the community right now is in a place where I can't see this community going on much longer at the rate that it's going, and that's where I am right now. Right now I see, like I said, I'm going to be on the lookout for the next multiplayer game that comes out. I think the next multiplayer game is going to have a ton of transactions for y'all. Be prepared for that battle pass that costs $30. Because they're going to give you the game for free, but they're going to damn sure make sure that they get their money. They're going to get that $30 out of you somehow. By hook or by crook. That's the way it works. Ain't nothing free. They're going to get their money out of you.
We're going to see.
And
crazy.
So that's why I am with the PlayStation community. I hope y'all enjoy y'all games. But as far as Astrobot is concerned, the one thing I will say is that the only way that,
like, real talk. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the only way that the day and date stuff happens, the only way stuff ends up in a service is if they can actually make PlayStation gamers stop buying games. And I think that there is a concerted effort to try to get PlayStation gamers to stop buying games,
and it's
working. Slow that down. And it is working. We see that now here with Concord, because people begged for multiplayer. They gave y'all multiplayer, and then y'all spit in their face.
All right. Yo, Sick, you got any last words, bro?
Nah. Oh, yeah. I got a question. It's more of a question.
Okay.
Is that honeymoon over yet?
A cod?
That honeymoon over yet?
No, I've got my refund, boy. I ain't wasting. Yo, listen. I'm not wasting my money on that this year. No, not to. I need to see an effort for them to fix the issues that I got with that beta. I'm gonna talk about it in my video, but yeah, right now, nah,
I'll be looking out for it, bro.
No doubt, bro. Yeah, holla, bro. But yo, man, listen, Barb, appreciate you pulling up too, bro. Yo, listen, when it comes to this situation. I do think that, like I said, I agree with what everybody is saying. You know, it sucks, and like I said, I feel for the developers. And this really was a great game, a fun game that now is shut down, and I think that shit sucks, and I think it's sad, right? But I do believe that people definitely need to buy their games, because the conversation kind of was shifting a lot. So people definitely need to buy the shit that they like, Everybody shit that they into. And I think when it comes to multiplayer, especially multiplayer from PlayStation, be specific. And even if you are specific, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get it. Especially now with these failures, I'd be surprised if PlayStation. We'll see. I ain't even gonna say never. I ain't gonna say never, but it might take long, and it might have been pushed back even further if it was something that would happen. And when it comes to Astrobot, listen, I think Astrobot is a fun game. It's a great game from what I played, and I can't wait to have the full game come out on Friday. And I really do hope people support that and buy it. If you think Astrobot looks fun and that's something that you can see yourself playing, buy the goddamn game. I stand by that, man. And again, that's shit I've been saying for years. You know, people that follow me, follow my channel, follow the content, follow me on Twitter. I've been saying buy the games you're interested in for years. You feel me? That ain't nothing new. So, that's never gonna change. But with that being said, man, I do appreciate everybody that came through tonight. A bit longer show than normal. Because I definitely wanted to get some of the community's thoughts. Everybody's very passionate about this, which is always good to hear and see. And a big shout out to everybody that came through tonight, man. I really appreciate everybody. Hopefully, you guys, enjoyed the show. If you did, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Dippity. Shout out to Dippity Doo. I appreciate you for the super chat. It says save the Sony sovereignty, Astrobot. Yo, appreciate you, Dip. Like I said, man, big appreciate everybody, man. I do hope. Oh, let me end this poll real quick. Let me see where the poll is, man. Where's this poll at? All right, so ended the Space Marines poll. Ah, man, 68% said yes to a Space Marines 2 stream. All right, I got y'all. Let me decide where I'm gonna buy this goddamn game. If I'm gonna buy it on PlayStation, or if I'm gonna buy it on my PC and stream it on my PC. We'll see. But listen, guys, I appreciate y'all so much. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe with whatever it is that you're doing. And it's been your boy. Oh, this week. So listen, like I said, guys, this week, I'm dropping my Black Ops 6 beta impressions. That should be probably Thursday or Friday, right? Give or take. And then this Saturday, What's Up PlayStation Podcast returns. We make our triumphant return. It's going to be entertaining. I know it's going to be a very, very passionate conversation. You already hear the passion in Bari's voice here. Bari going to be passionate as hell on Saturday. And I know we're going to really, really break it down and really kind of talk about, where does PlayStation go from here from a live service perspective, right? And things like that. Like, we're going to really break it down and really talk about it. So don't miss What's Up PlayStation Podcast this Saturday. We make our return. And yeah, guys. All right, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe with whatever you're doing. And yeah, man, it's been your boy Persona. And I'm out, guys.